VI may be kind of prehistoric, but at least it does include undo. The U command in command mode undoes whatever the last change was. If you press U again, it undoes the previous command, and so on, back to the beginning of when you open the file. Control R is the opposite of undo. It undoes an undo, so it redoes the last change. So if you type U, it undoes two changes, and then Control R, it redoes those two changes, returning you to where you had been. The Shift U command undoes all changes that you made since coming to the line on which the cursor is currently sitting. And then finally, the period command repeats the last change you made. Now it's important to note that the period command performs the same transformation you just did in the current cursor location. I'll note here that multiple undo and redo are a feature of Vim, the most recent version of VI. If the VI that you're using is not based on the Vim codebase, then if you type U, it undoes the last command. If you type U again, it redoes it. So older versions of VI only support one level of undo. Vim supports multiple levels of undo and redo. I'll demonstrate this using Vim. We'll use our Duke of York file again. So here I will go JWW, and we'll change those 10,000 men to 7,000 men. Escape. I now go JJJLLL. If I type U, it undoes that change, changing the 7 back to 10, and also positioning the cursor back to where it was. You see a message at the bottom indicating that it's undone one thing. If I do CW7, escape, and then I go down and right and do CW, let's change up to not down, escape. If I type U, it undoes the last change. U again undoes the change before that. Note the information at the bottom of the screen indicating that the change that was just undone had been performed 15 seconds ago. If I type Control R, it redoes the change. Control R again redoes the remaining change. If I hit Control R again, it just beeps because I'm already at the newest change. If I type U, again, that third U beeps because we're already at the oldest change. These are all Vim features. In older versions of VI, U would undo the most recent change, and then a second U would redo that most recent change. Also, let's take a look at Shift U. If I, CW, change the 10,000 men to 7, escape, and WW, I change the men to women, escape. If I type U, it undoes the last change, and U again to undo again. Control R. Or alternatively, if I type Shift U, it undoes both of those changes in the current line. But if I do, let's say, WWCW 8, escape, WWIWO, escape, J, W, CW, bottom, escape. If I now do Shift U, it only undoes the change to the current line. Any changes that I made before coming to the current line are not undone. Now I'll demonstrate the period command. WCW, change march to stopped. Escape. If I now move to a different place, JJKB, and hit dot, it does that CW stomped again, leaving me in command mode. JJWW dot. JB dot. K. Let's try that from right here in the middle of the word, dot. So you see it did the same thing that would have happened if I typed CW from that point.